Wow. Here we are. We're back. It feels like it's been years since we've done this show. Ropeadope TV. Half alive from East Philadelphia. Fabian Brown.
I'm all the way alive.
Good to see you.
Half alive?
Feels so far away. We had a little. We found a mate. Good.
Feels good.
For the recliners here, or whatever you call them.
It'd be a good way to look at one another.
Yeah, sounds like a great show. Just hold on. I'll gaze into your eyes. All right. So we came in with. We got a lot of stuff. We got 19 records coming out.
Yes.
In about 8 weeks. We came in with a new EP from a band called Uncle Nephew.
Yes.
Uncle Nephew started. Our contact started with a cat named Darren Hoffman, who founded Tootie Dynamics, which is the company that did Christian Scott's Stretch Music app. Okay, and Darren, I had just communicated with him in the process of rolling out that app with Stretch Music, but I didn't realize he was a musician, and he got in touch. He's like, I want to come down and see you. I'm like, all right, come down and chat. He's got this record, and he is a close friend and names as his mentor the great Shannon Powell, drummer from New Orleans. And, man, you were in the room when we interviewed on audio, and look for that as the record comes out. Shannon Powell, and he was very outspoken about how to play and what to keep in the music and what not to keep in the music. But 4 or 5 song EP.
What did he say? Ain't saying nothing.
He said you can play. There's a lot of cats going. They ain't saying nothing. Really well emphasized.
That's great.
All right, well, that was quick. So. So we can guess who this is. The third and final installment of the of the Centennial Trilogy.
Right.
Entitled The Emancipation Procrastination. Next chapter in a story from Christian Scott Atunde Ajua.
Yes. Who
we're really excited about. He's just been telling his story and waking people up. Waking people up.
In the way that he does.
Yeah, and it's hard work. It's hard work. But he certainly is an ambassador, and we've talked about it on this show quite a few times about how musicians can be ambassadors in a crazy world, which I think we're going to talk about today. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Christian is really just flawlessly moving forward and executing his vision, which is, I don't know if he would call himself an ambassador, but just find the commonalities between people, break down some of the barriers musically, and hopefully, therefore, break down some of the barriers culturally.
That's true.
You know, we don't really have any choice but to talk about some negative shit in this show. because it's a reflection of our world right now. I know you said you had a lot of things you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I mean...
Dig in there. I want to leave on a note of hope, so let's remember that. Somebody just cue me up.
Well, I mean, you're so funny. I don't know if it's negative. Maybe it's negative. It's relevant. That's
challenging.
Challenging. You know, it's funny. What was the line with Louis Cato's album? You know, there's a whole lot of good and the bad's not that bad. I'm paraphrasing.
Right.
But he said something really, really nice, which is something else that we'll talk about later. So we have a bunch of hurricanes that came through that left a lot of families disheveled. And
disheveled.
That's the word I'm going to use. And, you know, I want maybe...
An earthquake.
An earthquake. Natural disasters. And I want you maybe to touch upon what has been done before, you know, because this is not the first time we've seen this. So maybe you could touch upon what Ropeadope has done before in the past.
New Orleans, yeah. I mean, and this has been the topic of conversation this week because, for obvious reasons, because there's an earthquake in Mexico City, hurricane in Houston, New Orleans, and hurricane in Florida, and hurricane in
Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico now, as well as many other places. You know, sorry if I'm not listing everything, but you know, we're sitting here very busy, trying to push ahead, but it makes your heart really heavy to see the things that are happening, and certainly to witness our inability to deal with it as a country. I still, you know, I was lamenting the fact that there's a homeless guy sitting in front of a $1 billion tower before, and now it's even more striking how people on the planet are struggling to deal when others are not at all, are just wasting. So, but I'll get through that. But what hit me in looking back at the New Orleans campaign, where we sold some bumper stickers and some T-shirts, and we raised $90-some thousand for New Orleans musicians. The real value of it ended up being that we printed a slogan that said "Re-New Orleans" for people at a time when people outside New Orleans were saying, "Fuck it,"
right?
You know, I think Barbara Bush at the time said those people will be happier in Texas, which is probably one of the up until 45, probably one of the most disgusting things that a political figure could have said.
What year is that? What year is that? Katrina.
2005.
Okay.
Late 2005. And New Orleans became a sort of just a little simple message to people who lived in New Orleans, who were scattered and trying to come back, and finding out that maybe somebody tore their house down because they're like, well, nobody here. You know, it's funny, they talk about the people who run down to the local grocery store, the TV shop, smash the window and take the big screen. But they don't talk about the developer and the contractor who goes back down to the 9th Ward and says, there was nobody here. I knocked the house down and we're now building a new house. And can you find your deed? Those kinds of things. We don't talk about the big theft in the country, right? So...
Nope.
That became I'm very political tonight. That became a rallying cry and a sort of to me, a very intimate, personal moment of hope and determination for a lot of people. And as we watch what's happening in Mexico City and we watch what's happening in Puerto Rico, you realize how much hope and determination create everything that we have, and that without it, it's chaos.
Right.
Okay, so, you know, that I don't know what we're going to do, but that's what we're going to try to focus on, is... oh,
yes.
Finding a way to bring hope and determination. One of the suggestions that came up yesterday was... everybody just take a little thing on their cell phone and post it. We're going to have a Facebook group and a couple of other places. You just post your message to the people of Puerto Rico and the people of Mexico City and be like, hey, fellow human here, fellow American here, we're with you. Because you're going to turn on your TV and you're going to see some idiot politician posture and, tell you something that isn't enough, and that maybe you should move, or you should, I talked to somebody yesterday. He said there's 50 flights a day leaving Puerto Rico right now. He said, and everybody's just getting out. And to me, I get it. Okay, so all right, I live on an island. I'm going to move. This is crazy. There's looting. There's lawlessness in the streets. I'm going to give up on my country and my homeland. But to me, that represents an abandonment of hope and determination. So maybe if we all send some messages back to say that, we don't have an answer right now, but at least we have our humanity to put out in front of you and say, I care about you. As a fellow American, I can add, remind everybody, it'll be in the notes that Puerto Rico is part of the United States of America. For those...
50% of... There was a poll that they took 300 plus people that more than 50% did not know that Puerto Rico was a Commonwealth of the United States.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I'm fairly certain that the President of the United States was not. There's one thing to say, oh yeah, I know that when you recall it in your brain, but the first thing that comes out. I mean, I just said country, right? Okay, so. I'm not placing it.
Semantics on that end.
Well, okay, we're gonna get into it. All right, we're getting serious here. Okay, so it's not semantics. It's American culture, and if you don't act and look and talk like quote Americans, then we don't see you as part of our fucking country. That's what I think goes on in Puerto Rico, because they want to hold on to their Puerto Rican heritage.
Right.
So we're just like, well, yeah, you're not. Isn't that what this argument's all about? Isn't that what the root of the racism that's happening? Is like, speak English. Speak English.
This is America.
Be like us. We want to homogenize you. Right? And while they're busy doing it to Puerto Ricans and everyone else in their school system, they're doing it to me too. I wish I knew another language. I guess I'd just learn another language and walk around and speak that all day, just to be like. Anyway, I digress.
Shantae Can.
Speaking of hope,
Soul Empowered,
determination,
coming out October 13th. Tell me some stats. I mean, her first album, Drain to Golden, was amazing.
Top, number one on iTunes Jazz.
Okay.
34 on the main charts.
Wow.
She's got a very loyal fan base. You like the record?
I love the record. I love the simplicity of the production, which is a complete surprise to what she did from her first album.
Yeah.
Left Turn, but it leaves so much room. It leaves so much room for the lyrics to come up front and for that to be the message. She's
really shining and taking center stage.
That's what I mean.
Right.
It's like the foundation instrumentally is there. The people who's on the record is completely top-notch, first class. But I think this record is about the lyrics, it's about the message. I'm not going to put any pressure or opinions on it, but it's just amazing, I think. Coming to Philadelphia. She's in DC now, coming to Philadelphia at the beginning of October. We're going to get her here, I think, right?
We are definitely, yeah. Unless there's a larger, more professional news outlet that would...
More professional.
Would like to bring her in.
Oh, my goodness. Not to cut you off.
Well, this is a moment. I have to introduce this song.
Yes.
Because we all thought that it would be fun for me to introduce this. This is the beauty of being at a record label that welcomes people of all kinds, types, genres, whatever. This is a track coming out on November 3rd, I believe, from B. Slade, formerly Tone, called Work That Body.
Say that again. I just want to hear you say that.
That's why I had to introduce it. Work That Body. Yeah.
I don't know what to say, and I don't know what to do. There's something about you. There's something about you. You brighten up the days. Oh, baby, don't change a thing. There's something about you. There's something about you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, baby, I can't explain it.
Can you, as a musician and who has experience with recording, describe to me what is different about the production, what I'm hearing in this?
In this particular song or the album?
Well, the album's fascinating because it starts with a very, what I'm trying, it's synthesized kind of sound, and then becomes more organic and calmer as the
That's a good way to describe.
So what is it that he's doing? Why is this different than?
Well, right here,
What's different about this or Frank Catalano, in the studio?
Good question. I think right here, this particular track is like opinion in the middle of the road of that synthesized, of that organic. Okay, I'm hearing, that 2 and 4 on that clapping hand sound, but then.
But is that a clapping hand sound or is that a computer generated?
That's a computer. That's a sample. That's a sample.
It's a sample. Okay,
yeah.
Got it.
But
I shouldn't learn about this.
We're teaching you too much. But it's funny because not funny. I mean, the album as people eventually get their ears wrapped around. It starts at a certain point, and it gets from that synthesized thing that you're describing right down to as organic can be.
Yeah,
It takes all that away. Message is strong throughout the whole thing. A lot of things that are relevant. I'm digging it.
It's, as I said earlier, it's badass to have great musicians and for them to be able to create and play at the highest level. And it's badass to have an album on the smooth jazz charts at the same time, and it feels even more badass to me to have such a diversity. I wrote a little catchphrase a while ago, like Ropeadope bringing real music to a genre near you, and I don't think we probably had some record that was in a genre where people would normally criticize the genre and go, well, that's not high quality. But this record was.
The Jazz Please, are you talking about?
No, it wasn't a jazz thing. I don't know if it was. I can't remember what it was, but it's turned out to be true. So, this is one piece of an onslaught of great new material from RSVP Records from Spud Seawright. There's Andy Waddell coming out. There's Louis Cato, Ghost Note. Black Dynamite is a Ropeadope release, yeah. Although he's, associated with Spud.
Right. So.
Right. It gets a little complicated in
the family of
the functional family here. But it's actually real. I mean, here he is. He's doing this, and by the time you get to the end of the album, you're like, oh yeah, he doesn't. He's not relying on those studio tricks, or that click thing, the sample, to be able to make music. He knows how to make music.
You and your playlists, man. You and your playlists.
From Work That Body, we go to Fixin' to Die with a little. the immortal Colonel Bruce Hampton. Let it ride and let it flow. So this is such a delight for me. We are going to release Colonel Bruce Hampton and the Madrid Express live at the Vista Room in just outside of Atlanta, Georgia. I can't remember. Decatur, I believe. Decatur, Georgia. You've heard this thing probably 20 or 30 times because I relentlessly play it. Part of the reason is because Bruce is a close friend, but you know, when you listen to records over and over again, they reveal new things to you. And what this one has revealed to me is it just gets tighter and tighter and more perfect each time. And I'm going to say it on camera. And I've listened to a lot of recorded music. I think it's one of the finest albums ever recorded.
It's live.
And it's live. Now, I am going to have to back up and say, what did Eddie Palmieri say? I'm too old to be humble or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't have a lot of time left. Got to say some outrageous things, that kind of vibe. But yeah, and it makes you think about all that. But this is coming out October 20th on vinyl. I wish I could show the artwork. We'll try to put it up. Some of Bruce's personal drawings, which if we start here, you will get a sense of his artistic style. And the new ones are even better. I just, yeah, I did that.
You did a foot volume control.
Try that again.
Hanging out with too many musicians.
Pedals. There's a line. Somebody sent me a list of Colonel Bruce quotes today.
Oh, that was so good.
Something about pedals. He was dissing the pedals.
You should read some of those quotes. Those quotes were just so.
I think the best quote of the entire list was, "I can't explain paint."
Paint.
Paint.
Not pain.
Paint.
Paint.
It's indisputable. I can't explain paint. Yeah.
I'm not going to butcher my favorite quote, but it was the one with him driving. All the...
Stay between the trees. Yeah. Stay between the trees.
Man.
Smart. I encourage people to listen to this record. I encourage people to play it again and again. You know, I mean, I guess people use the term, you could say Bruce is an acquired taste in a certain way. But what that's really about is challenging the notion of what you're accustomed to hearing and stretching yourself a little bit. Now, usually Bruce stretches people by complete shock and awe. And there's a few moments in this record where he does that. But in this case, each time you listen, you start to hear more. You start to look for mistakes. There either aren't any, or it's the most perfectly assembled bunch of mistakes ever created.
Who's the person that said to you, you know, he's telepathically leading the band?
I believe that was O'Teal Burbridge or Jimmy Herring. We were backstage, right side stage when John McLaughlin was joining the Aquarium Rescue Unit. But I do want to say, Bruce did a lot of far out things intentionally, but this is the most deliberate and focused, wonderful evening. Caught live. I guess we can end it with the quote that he said when he picked the venue to play his residency. He was invited down and to look at the place, and he stepped out of the car and said to Darren Stanley, who has been instrumental in getting this out, excuse the pun, "Look at this parking lot. This is perfect." And that's how they picked the Vista Room. But great recording. I hope a lot of people that have not listened to Colonel Bruce Hampton in the past will listen to this and find it enjoyable and intense and strong. What else we got? I talked the whole time. You didn't get to any of the things on your list, did you?
No, we got to it. There was a nice section. We're at that mark where we like to say that's the mark.
We gotta know. Let's live a little.
All right. Well, I mean, well, let's see. Let me close it out with this. Relevance into the times and everything that's going on. Is there a way, can we promote something this early on, or can we make people stay tuned to something that we're going to put together where we can help
Puerto Rico?
Connect and communicate and resources?
Well, we've set up this messaging app on Discord, on the platform Discord, which is largely used by gamers.
Okay.
And the benefit of it is that you don't need to register or download the app to deal with it. There's a calling and a texting number, and you don't have to have a profile. Right? So, what we're hoping is that people who are getting limited access to electricity in Puerto Rico under cell service can jump on there real quickly and send messages out. And then we're encouraging people in the rest of the world to post whatever resources they link to. The idea is really to connect. A bulletin board, a message board, a resource center. And also we want to find a way to deliver those video messages back to people in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
I know Mr. Palmieri is going to record something, and most of the band. They're working on it now to get 15 to 30 second little videos on your phone and be like, hey, this is Eddie Palmieri and I'm thinking of you in Puerto Rico, and we're trying to do what we can out here to help. I mean, there are plenty of people who are going to be raising money, and we'll probably raise some money as well. But we're going to cut through bureaucracy and try to get right to people and help them with the things that they need. And I think that people are cut off from communication, and that's where chaos ensues, right? Somebody might not know that the government truck's coming tomorrow to repair that electric, that might be the moment that they decide, that everything's screwed.
Well, more details will be that on probably our social handles, or
Ropeadope.com, Twitter Ropeadope @Ropeadope.
Okay.
Right. You're the king of this. Where else?
I mean,
Facebook, Ropeadope Records,
Ropeadope everywhere.
One word, just spell it out, send it out.
It's not 3 words. One
word, one cat. Don't even stop with me. I thought we were gonna leave on a note of hope and unity.
I had to put a single.
Ropeadope, give us your hope. Are we good?
We're good, man. Great. Thanks, Lewis.
Thank you.
Love it.